The 2 p.m. extinction, why your brain is programmed to crash. Your brain was never meant to survive the afternoon. Right now, as you sit at your desk, a biological war is being waged inside your skull, and you are losing. You feel the heavy fog rolling in, your eyes glazing over, and the sudden, desperate urge to reach for your phone or a snack just to feel a spark of life. It isn't laziness, and it isn't a lack of discipline. It's a biological betrayal. For nearly 300,000 years, your ancestors lived according to a rhythm that modern society has spent the last century trying to erase. By 2 p.m., your internal systems aren't just tired. They're malfunctioning because you're forcing a supercomputer to run on a broken operating system. You're living in a world of artificial light and constant dopamine spikes that have literally rewired your ability to exist in the present moment. Today, we're breaking down the terrifying science behind why you're programmed to crash at 2 p.m. and how something called the time unit paradox may be stealing your life before you even realize it's gone. Have you ever noticed how an entire summer as a child felt like an eternity, but as an adult, entire months disappear into a gray blur? This is the time unit paradox. Your brain doesn't measure time in minutes. It measures time in new experiences. As a child, every sight, sound, smell, and adventure became a brand new data point. Your brain carefully recorded every second, making time feel expansive and almost endless. But now you've fallen into the trap of time blindness. You eat the same breakfast, take the same commute, sit at the same desk, and stare at the same glowing rectangle for 8 hours every single day. When your brain detects routine, it stops recording those moments because they offer no survival value. By 2 p.m., you've spent hours inside a cognitive vacuum. Your brain is essentially falling asleep while you're still awake because it has nothing new to process. You aren't simply bored, you're experiencing a collapse of time perception that makes the workday feel endless, while making your life feel like it disappears faster every year. The reason your focus evaporates every afternoon often begins the very second you wake up. Most people start their mornings by checking notifications, scrolling through short-form videos, and chasing instant digital validation. That creates an enormous dopamine spike, followed by an inevitable crash. Your brain evolved in a world where rewards were rare and had to be earned. You hunted, you gathered, you solved problems. Only then did you receive a small reward, but today you carry a slot machine in your pocket. Every notification, every swipe, every refresh delivers unpredictable rewards that hijack your brain's reward circuitry. By the time 2 p.m. arrives, your dopamine sensitivity has already been drained. Ordinary work begins to feel physically painful because your brain's reward threshold has been pushed so high that normal life feels dull. It's like eating a strawberry immediately after drinking a soda. The strawberry didn't change, your brain did. That's why you can feel mentally exhausted despite accomplishing almost nothing meaningful. High stimulation and deep satisfaction are not the same thing. If you feel foggy every afternoon, your brain might literally be filled with trash. Scientists have discovered that your brain has its own waste removal system, but it only becomes active during deep sleep. Think of it as a dishwasher for your thoughts. While you sleep, cerebrospinal fluid flows through your brain tissue, washing away metabolic waste that accumulates throughout the day. To make room for this cleaning process, your brain cells actually shrink while you sleep. But if you aren't getting high quality sleep, those toxins remain. By mid-afternoon, you're trying to think inside a cluttered office that was never cleaned. The first area to suffer is your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thinking, planning, and self-control. That's why your willpower feels limited. By 2 p.m., you're often no longer making thoughtful decisions. You're simply reacting to impulses. But there's an even older explanation for the afternoon crash. For most of human history, people didn't sleep in one uninterrupted 8-hour block. Instead, they practiced biphasic sleep. A first sleep shortly after sunset, a quiet period of wakefulness, then a second sleep before sunrise. During that peaceful period of wakefulness, our ancestors entered a unique state of consciousness. associated with deep reflection and calm. Modern society replaced that rhythm with alarm clocks, office schedules, and artificial lighting. The afternoon slump may actually be your body trying to reclaim that ancient biological rhythm. What we call a productivity problem may actually be millions of years of biology asking to be heard. So how do you fix a brain that seems programmed to fail? You begin by reclaiming your biology. Within the first hour after waking, spend 10 minutes outside in natural sunlight. Protect your morning dopamine by delaying notifications and high stimulation activities. When the 2 p.m. urge appears, remember the 90-second rule. Let the feeling pass and embrace moments of quiet. Reclaim your focus, protect your attention, build a life that is intentionally designed. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. Here we come to an end for this video with a lot to come. A lot of time and effort went into making this video. If you found it valuable, please consider subscribing. It genuinely helps the channel grow, lets me keep creating videos like this, and supports the work I do. Thank you for watching.